Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy Blank09, and today we're going to be talking about the next major game update coming to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in the next week. Now, we could get this update next week, we could get this update in a couple of days to coincide with the release of the previous major game update, which happened around this time last week. I'm pretty sure this like Friday, Saturday period. Last week is when we got the first update, which apparently addressed spawns but really didn't, because spawns are still pretty bad in the game. But that's besides the fact. We're going to be talking about what's going to come in this update, what we know is going to come in this update, and speculations on what could come in this update, because the description of the update leaves it a bit ambiguous and leaves room for more improvements to happen. So I'll start off by reading the announcement from Treyarch on Reddit, what they said about this next major update. They said, the next major update to the game currently planned to go live next week. This update will include our first major multiplayer weapons tuning pass based on all of the data collected since launch, improvements to the audio system in Blackout, and lots more. Now, just based on that description, we can tell what this update is meant for. I'm pretty sure this update, is mostly going to focus on weapon balance, and that's a good thing. Weapon balance has been a massive issue in Black Ops 4 ever since the release of the game, and it's taken a while for them to comment on this and look for solutions to this, or at least tell the community that they're looking for solutions on weapon balance. Ever since the game's launched, the community's been talking about assault rifles and LMGs. They seem to be the two major weapon classifications that everyone has a problem with, and I can be testament to those problems. Assault rifles, especially the ICR-7 and the Rampart 17, those two are trucks of weapons. Like, they damage you so easily and so effectively. Like, 2 shots of the ICR-7 can take off your body armor and half health you. Like, legitimately, that thing is a monster, and it has no recoil, and it's so easy to use. In terms of how Treyarch is going to balance these weapons, we have a basic idea of what they're going to do to them, just purely based on what they've done previously in previous Call of Duties and what other developers have done to balance out the weapons. You can expect to see in both the ARs and the LMGs to see a damage nerf, so that they're gonna output less damage, which is a good thing because they do kill pretty quickly for the health system we have here in Black Ops 4. And you can expect the recoil to be increased on those weapons as well. They may do different things to different specific weapons just based on what they've gathered in the collection of data, but those are the 2 things you can basically expect to see. And that's gonna do a couple things. It's gonna balance out the way that people use the weapons, so that no longer will the ICR be just a point and shoot, and it doesn't matter what distance, how low their health is, how low your health is. It's gonna make it so that it's a more even playing field if you're using those weapons, and it's gonna make a lot more weapons usable in the game. And we'll talk about the SMGs right now, because that kind of coincides with this point. I think the SMGs are going to get a definite buff in this game, but they're not going to be where they were in the beta. I see SMGs getting a damage increase, but also a recoil increase, so it's a little harder to use those weapons, but they are outputting more damage. I think that where the SMGs are now in terms of how they perform in mid-range and long-range battle engagements is right. I think that they're not meant for those types of battles, so then you should be taking a longer time to kill in those scenarios. But where the SMGs fall short is where they're meant to be, in the short-range, close-quarters combat battles, where they're taking 7 to 9 bullets to kill, which makes absolutely no sense on why that happens, why an ICR, a assault rifle, can do more damage than a close quarters combat submachine gun at close range. It doesn't make sense to me. But I think that we're going to get SMGs, and I think that SMGs are going to be the main thing that a lot of people won't notice. People will see like, oh, the ICR has been nerfed, oh, the Titan's been nerfed, but people won't notice that the SMGs have been buffed. And I think that's what we're going to see in this next update, a buff for the SMGs, which is always a good thing, because if you increase the usability for a certain weapon classification, then you're gonna get more people using different weapons. If the weapons people are using now, which was the ARs and the LMGs, get nerfed so people find them less effective to use, they're gonna look out and they're gonna try and use other weapons, which is always good. People using different weapons in a game is always good, because then you can get more data and you can get more information based on the fact that people are using these weapons more, which means the weapons can be better balanced in the future, which is always a good thing. We're never going to get to the point in a game where every single weapon is balanced in comparison to every single other weapon. It's just not going to happen. It's a fairy tale dream, and it's just not going to happen, because you're always going to get those OP weapons. You're always going to get those weapons that are better than the other weapons, and it's just purely because they're a better gun. But if we can get it to the point where every single weapon classification is on a very even playing field, or like a somewhat even playing field, in terms of what gunfights they're used for, what range are they being shot at, and how much health the other player has compared to you, I think that will be fine. It talks about Blackout audio, and me personally, I haven't really dived into Blackout that much. I really want to, but it's just the people I play with are not interested in Blackout for a number of reasons. Some believe that it's too similar to Fortnite. Just the whole battle royale concept is probably just fading. Like the interest on that is just fading a little bit for them, which is completely fine. Like we played Fortnite to death back when Fortnite was the only game you could play, so it's understandable that when this new battle royale game comes out, you're a bit fatigued on that whole genre of games, which makes complete sense. But audio system could mean a multiple of things. In the games that I've played in Blackout, it's just so loud. Like I found that the game is just so loud playing it, especially your footsteps, like those. It's like you're smashing the ground with a hammer every time you walk. That may be an understatement or an overstatement, but for me personally, when I was playing Blackout, in the couple games I played, I'm not saying that I'm a completely experienced Blackout player, the footsteps are really loud in the game, and I think that may be what Treyarch is addressing in this. And again, as I said, the description of the update leaves it open-ended so that people can speculate what they're gonna see and what they could expect, and that's purely what this video is about. And it says and lots more, so that and lots more means a lot of things, and I can only talk about multiplayer specifically in this video because that's the game mode I've mostly played, and that lots more to me says that we may be getting either improvements or comments on spawns and network. So spawns and network has been the two biggest issues ever since the launch of the game. 13 days ago when the game launched, spawns, network, two massive things that I think that need to be either addressed or somewhat fixed in this major game update. Again, as I said at the beginning of this video, the major game update is mostly going to be weapon balance. That's where you're going to see most of the difference, but I think that Treyarch needs to do something or comment or say something about spawns and network. So in terms of spawns, Treyarch their update last week, mainly to me said we're trying to fix the spawns, and they didn't fix the spawns. For me, as a result of last week's update, spawns just got a lot more random, and it just didn't fix anything. Network, on the other hand, is another issue. Network is something that is, in the past week, a lot of the Call of Duty community has been crying out for 60Hz servers. And if you don't know what's happening, I made a completely different video talking about how garbage the Black Ops 4 servers are. And you can go to that one because I explain it more in depth. But the basic, like the real basic outline of what is wrong with the network is that Treyarch launched the game in beta at 60Hz. But when they launched the game, they downgraded the servers to 20Hz, and this means a lot of things, and I explain it more in that video. If you want to learn more about what it means to downgrade the tick rate of a server, go to that video and I explain it more in detail. But recently, Treyarch, in the game settings update, so not a major game update, in the game settings update, they increased the ticket rate and the hertz of the server to 30. So we're halfway to our beloved 60 that we all experienced in the beta, and I think that Treyarch is again gonna address it in the patch notes for this major game update. Whether that be, hey, a couple days ago we increased it to 30, we're working towards 60, or whether that be, hey, we've increased it to 40, a couple days ago we increased it to 30, we're working towards 60, or just anything in terms of network. Anything network based, anything network related, anything spawns related would be awesome. Please, Treyarch, address these issues because they need to be fixed. Other game update things that I think that they could addressing this issue, and again, it's mostly going to be multiplayer based, combat records and game losses. So combat record is something that has been in Call of Duty for quite a number of years now, and it's a little something that's very essential to a lot of people, and myself personally, I like seeing the combat record. I like seeing all these different statistics that you just can't get in like the little box of stats you get in the options menu. Combat record for me needs to be in the game. It's something that a lot of people hold near and dear to their heart. They like their stats, so why not give it to them? It's such a simple feature that's been featured in Treyarch's own Call of Duty games that just apparently didn't make it to Black Ops 4, which I think is something that either needs to be spoken about, like, hey, we're looking to bring it in, or in the game. The next point I wanted to talk about, again, I said it before, combat record and just overall game losses. So in previous Call of Duties, we've gotten the option, so when we join a game that's already in progress and our team loses the game, that game doesn't count as a loss to our combat record. A little detail that should be in the game but isn't in the game. When I join into a game mid-game and my team is getting destroyed and we lose the game, that counts towards my win-loss. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. How can you expect a player to join a game when it's 192 to 100 to win the game? It's possible, but 99% of the time it's not going to happen. So why should you punish the player for joining a game mid-game? It's just, again, little issues, little features that need to be in the game that just aren't in the game, that I hope that Treyarch is going to address in this update. It's advertised as a next major update to the game, so I hope that we get a lot of improvements, and if not improvements, comments saying that, hey, we're looking at all of these issues, and specify those issues, and then say we're looking to fix this over the next couple of weeks, which is just something that I think all of the Call of Duty needs to hear. I think all of the Call of Duty community needs to hear that, yes, Treyarch is listening to all of the cries, all of the issues, and that they're working on a fix. So that's what we can expect in the next game update, whether that be next week or in a couple days. That's basically what we can expect from that update. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you click that like button, leave a comment down below. What do you guys think of everything that I stated in this video? What do you guys think of weapon balancing and how they're gonna fix it? Let's get this discussion going in the comments down below. Click subscribe if you're new here, click the bell for alerts, and also follow me on twitch.tv/blankonlive. We're gonna be live streaming the game once all the updates and all the fixes happen. Once the game is in a stable place, we'll start live streaming. We'll get it going over there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.